I wanted to chamfer this corner of the rectangle, so I go to chamfer. Now, before you actually select anything, you have to look at the command prompt, and if you notice, it says current chamfer distance 1 is 0, 0, distance 2 is 0, 0. So it's this time it's going to make a perfect 90-degree angle. If you wanted to chamfer this, say by ½ inch, then you have to first type D for distance and specify the first chamfer distance, which is 0.5, and the second chamfer distance, which is 0.5, and then select the first line and the second line, and there you have your chamfer. If you wanted to increase this, you go back to chamfer. Keyboard shortcut for chamfer is CHA. Before you select anything on the screen, you have to type D for distance, and you change the dimensions. So I'm going to make it 1 inch, and then 1 inch for the second distance also, and then I'm going to select the first line and the second line, and there it's chamfer by 1 inch. It makes a nice clean break. There is no extra stuff there. Okay, Fillet works the same way, except Fillet uses a radius. So before you select anything, you have to type R for radius, specify the radius. I'm going to specify 1 inch, and then select the first line and the second line, and there it is. You can also, for both Fillet and chamfer, do multiple lines. So if you type M for multiple, before you select the object, it's going to let you do several lines at the same time without going back and forth over and over again. So all I have to do is click, and it'll keep doing fillets as many times as I want. All you have to do is, when you start the command, you first specify the radius. I'm going to make it 2 inches this time, and then type M for multiple, and then click all the lines that you want to fillet in one continuous motion. Now you have a filleted object. The same way, you can do the same thing for chamfer. Now, if you drew a rectangle, and we know that it's a polyline, you can also fillet all sides of the polyline at the same time. If you look at the options there, you have an option called polyline. If you type P for polyline, it will let you fillet the entire rectangle, all four sides, with one click. So you can go back to fillet. Make sure you specify the radius first. So I'm going to change the radius to 3 inches. And then, just like we said multiple in the earlier attempt, this time we say P for polyline, and then all you have to do is select the polyline, and it will chamfer or fillet all four sides of the polyline at the same time. So it's a one-step process instead of going back and forth. That was your chamfer and fillet. Now the trim and extend commands usually are used for cleaning up drawings. Say you drew something and you have two lines that intersect, and you want to remove the excess. You can trim those lines by using the trim command. Now the trim command is a little tricky. You cannot just click anywhere. You have to be very careful of where you click, and you want to read what it says in the command prompt. So when you want to trim something like this, say you want to trim this part of the line, you go to trim. Keyboard shortcut for trim is TR. Now you first select the cutting edges. If you read at the command prompt, it tells you first select cutting edges. You cannot just click any object. For the trim command and the extend command, you have to be very careful of the sequence of objects you select. You first select the cutting edge. In this case, I want to trim this part of this line at this point. So I select this line first, hit enter. Then I select the part of this line that I don't want, that I want to remove, and there it is. I can repeat the same thing to remove this portion of the line. So I go back to trim, select this line because that's where I want to cut that line from, hit enter, and then select the line that I want to remove. A faster way of doing this is to use your crossing window. You can go to trim, use your crossing window to select everything associated with the two lines that you want to trim, and hit enter, and then you click on the lines that you want to remove. One more time. You go to trim, use your crossing window to select everything associated with the lines you want to trim, hit enter, and then just click on the parts of the lines that you want to remove, hit enter to finish the command. If you goof up, and this is another tip during this module, if you Want to quickly undo something, you can hit Control and the alphabet Z on the keyboard. If you want to redo something, you can hold the Control key down and the alphabet Y on the keyboard. So Control Z to undo, Control Y to redo.